Hey guys, Mansvi here. Today we are going to talk about microscope. First, let us understand what is microscopy and what is microscope. Microscopy is study of micro level things, like it can be a sample, microorganism, microstructures, which is done with the help of microscope. Microscope help us by magnifying that particular given thing. We are having many different type of microscope. As per our requirement, we use them. Like we have a fluorescent, electron, bright field microscopy, dark field microscopy, phase contrast. For example, if a given sample is stained with fluorescent dye, it will be magnified or observed under fluorescent microscope. That is its requirement. Likewise, every sample has different kind of requirements which is fulfilled by their respective type of microscope. Bright field microscopy is used widely. Like we have compound microscope in regular use in microbiology, but today we are going to talk about simple microscope. In earlier days, they weren't having any as such advancement of any device or an instrument called microscope. So they were having some prediction, like people were knowing, scientists were aware about that there is something which is invisible, which is causing us disease, which is responsible for food spoilage, but they weren't sure about it. They weren't having any proof. So people weren't believing them. They weren't accepted. Okay, it was Aristotle who had also described that cellular structure. It might be something like that, but he wasn't the first one to observe it. It was Anton van Leeuwenhoek who was having an hobby to grind lens into microscope. Like he used to grind lens from mirror and make microscope out of it, and he was the first one who had observed tiny microorganism, or they used to call it animalcules, and he had drawn in a descriptive way that whatever he had seen through it, and from that very moment, people started to have a belief that yes, there is something around us which is invisible but still present, and which is also responsible for as such causes. And then that microscope was the basic idea for development of microscope. Like we had evolved in much greater aspect, but that was the basic thing we got to know about microscope. A simple microscope is having just a stage. Beneath it there is a mirror which is reflecting the sun rays in order to provide proper light to the stage, so that an observer can observe properly. And on the stage the sample is being placed, and above it there is a magnifying glass from which the observer is directly observing it. Nowadays these microscopes are used for dissection purpose or basic magnification. That's it, and they aren't in that much use. But the microscope which was produced by Anton van Leeuwenhoek was providing around 200 times magnification, and he produced around 200 to 300 times magnification. He produced around 250 microscopes. But nowadays we are having a higher kind of magnification, like we have 1000 times magnification. So we generally use them, which are compound microscope. And in compound microscope, we have different type of magnification by changing the different lens. I'll be talking about it in next video. And these primary microscope, like simple microscope, gave us an idea plus a verification that yeah, microorganisms do exist, and so they also play an important role in industry of microbiology. And yes, if you like this video, then do like, comment, share, and subscribe to Friendtor. And if you have any suggestion or question, please let me know in comment section. And my next video will be all about compound microscope in detail. It is not that complex, but we have to study it in detail, because that is the prominent microscope used in microbiology most often. And if you have any suggestion, then please let me know, and stay tuned for the next video. Thanks for watching.